And as you're thinking about that, I want to take you through kind of a day in the life of a student who might be experiencing different bias incidents, microaggressions in their life. So imagine this is one of our students, and they get up, they go to class, and it's already kind of the middle of the semester, and their faculty member continues to say their name incorrectly, mispronounce it, even though they've already told them several times, here's what it is. And today, the faculty member says, you know what, can you just give me an American name so that it would be easier for me to pronounce and I won't mess up your other name. So that student makes up a name, moves on, feels really weird about how the interaction went. Then they go back to their room and, their roommate is there and their roommate is on the phone and is laughing and mentions something to the effect of, yeah, I hope you don't get the Kung flu, and laughs. And this student, being an Asian American student, feels some type of way about that interaction. Then they go to their student organization meeting later that day and, are told by the upper class leaders of the group that they have to worry about, when people come to their organization, that some people might say things like, oh, I'm only here because I have yellow fever, which is something that, of course, I think fetishizes many Asian women. And finally, they get back on the bus or the shuttle to go back to their room that night. And as they're sitting there, someone comes onto the shuttle, looks at them, even though there's a seat next to them, and intentionally sits somewhere else. And that student feels some type of way, again, about their identity. So imagine that's kind of what the student's day is, all these different bias incidents, microaggressions that they're experiencing. And there is absolutely a cost of all of these bias incidents. And I want to share this and start here because I think we want to create systems, but we need to know why we're creating the systems in place. One, there are true mental health and wellness impacts, cumulative impacts when people experience these things on a daily basis. And so, whether it's a feeling of, stress, anxiety, worry, or even health issues. When you have mental health issues, you can be led into depression, which can cause, muscle aches, it can cause headaches, it can cause stomach aches. When we think about bias incidents that have happened to our transgender community, when it comes to even wanting to use the restroom and being called out or given different looks, sometimes our students then decide not to use the restroom, decide not to drink a lot of water so they don't have to go. And then they end up with urinary tract infections, with dehydration issues. So there are mental health and actual wellness and health issues that also really, are issues with this. So it's important to think about that. And then also we have lower retention. So making sure that when we think about when biases occur, retention can go down. Students may want to go somewhere else. We also have lower satisfaction. So students may report on satisfaction surveys that they're dissatisfied with their experience on campus. And then finally, as they become alumni, there may be a lack of affinity. And I'll share a story with you at an institution that I've worked with. One of our development officers said, it's really difficult to get our Black and African American students to want to be part of alumni groups because they just had such a terrible experience where they felt that at a predominantly white institution, they were not treated fairly, or many times felt that microaggressions and bias incidents happened to them without resolve, without a place to go to talk about it, and also without it being resolved in any way. And so they don't want to be part of, developing devoting their time, talent, and treasure to the university.